If you're not prepared, you don't know JAKZ, Prepper JAKZ.
Hi everyone, John here for Prepper JAKZ. How about that introduction video? That was pretty good, wasn't it? That came compliments of some friends of ours, Mark and Dawn Polk with RVEducation101.com and RV101.com. Great people. If you are thinking about buying an RV, if you already have an RV but are thinking about needing some maintenance or some upgrades or just to do some maintenance, routine maintenance on it. These are the folks that know everything about RVs from top to bottom. Mark's completely torn one apart and rebuilt it. He can tell you everything in and out of an RV, and if he doesn't know the answer, he can get it for you. RVEducation101.com and RV101.com. Go check them out. They're great people. All right, so anyway, that brings us to this week's videocast edition of JAKZ FAKZ. Are you ready for this? Then let's get started. All right, so I don't have a local veteran shout out this week, but I do have a veteran shout out I'd like to pass on. That would be to Sergeant First Class retired Brian Gibson, founder of Project Die Hard in Paducah, Kentucky. Now, Brian and I worked together in the U.S. Army Recruiting Battalion in Nashville. We both retired about the same time, and we were both combat medics. Project Die Hard started out as a tribute motorcycle project. That was his PTSD therapy. And in April of 2018, Project Die Hard was formed in his brain, then later turned into a limited liability corporation and is now a 501c3. On his website, www.projectdiehard.org, that's O-R-G, Brian says that their goal is simple: to bring public awareness to veteran suicide and to assist veterans in coping with the stress and difficulties in transition from active duty military to civilian life. Now, Brian is a 26-year combat veteran just like me, and this program is very near and dear to him because, as he put it, I lost more of my brothers and sisters to suicide when we got home than I did during our time deployed in combat. And he wanted to bring awareness to veteran suicide, which led him to start Project Die Hard. Now, Project Die Hard is founded on Christian principles, and Brian is a devout Christian. After this video, check in the comment section below to find a link to the Project Die Hard, and if you feel so compelled, a donation of any size would go a long way in helping a veteran in this program. After all, veterans are the ones who step up to the plate when our nation calls to defend our freedoms and liberties. Now for your prepping facts for the week. You know, one thing I've learned over the past several years is in emergency situations, and some of you know about our experiences in the Waldo Canyon fire in Manitou Springs, Colorado, and the 100-year flood that we experienced out in Phoenix, Arizona. The one thing that I've learned is that people tend to leave their family pet or their farm animals behind. The only thing that ticks me off worse than a thief is someone who abuses or mistreats animals. Folks, listen, if you have an animal or as a pet or a farm animal, it is your responsibility to take care of that animal when a natural disaster happens. I've read stories about people here in North Carolina a couple of years ago when a hurricane flooded the area, and folks left dogs in pens outside and chained up to die while they fled to high ground. I've seen dogs caught in fires before also because they got left behind in a fire. Now, I'm not telling you all this to upset or tick any of you off. In fact, that's why I'm not showing you any other pictures because I don't want to upset any of you. That's not what this video is about. It just makes my blood boil for this particular subject. Now, I'm telling you all of this in hopes that if you have pets or farm animals, that you'll avoid these catastrophes in the event that you need to leave your house for any reason. Prepping is planning ahead, and I hope this video will help to remind you that if you have a pet, to think about including your pet in your planning and your prepping. Just as you plan and prep for extra food and water, why not include their needs along with yours? A family relative once said that they're like a perpetual 2-year-old, and they really are. They can't take care of themselves. They'll need food and water, blankets, a toy or two, leashes, medication, their shot records, their rabies tags especially. And you know, you say your pet is like a part of the family. Think about what they need in order to survive like you. You wouldn't leave your child or spouse. Why would you leave your pet? They've always been there for you. Be there for them when they need you the most. In that moment of despair, when you're depressed about everything that you're going through, you'll be glad that you brought them along with you. I know I would be. So that wraps up another edition of JAKZ FAKZ, folks, and I sincerely hope you got something out of it, and I really hope that I didn't take you off on this subject. But to me, pets are near and dear to my heart. They are the epitome of what unconditional love is, and they mean just as much to me as any of my family members. So I hope you got something out of it. Also, don't forget to check the comment section down below for a link to go check out my friend Brian's endeavor. I know he'll appreciate it. And don't forget also, if you ever have questions about your RV, you can find the links to my friends Mark and Don Polk over at RVEducation101.com and RV101.com. Don't forget also to subscribe to this channel and tap the bell to be reminded when we get new video content posted. We would also sincerely appreciate it if you'd tell all of your friends and families about us too. And lastly, well actually not lastly, but also if you haven't done so yet, we'd appreciate it if you'd follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at PrepperJAKZ, JAKZ. Now lastly, if you're not local to Fayetteville, North Carolina, you can find almost all of our products on our website, which is www.prepperjakz, that's JAKZ.com. So until next time, remember, if you're not prepared, you don't know JAKZ, PrepperJAKZ. And we thank you for your support. Thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you next time.